I'm good, thank you.
I'm so happy to have you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Happy to be here.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and Early Learning Shared Services Alliance, which is a long word?
It is. So the acronym is ELSSA, which makes it a little bit easier to say. So we are a shared services alliance that serves small child care providers, and we provide back office business administration services to support providers in helping them provide quality early childhood education.
Tell us about the alliance and the importance of the back office support that you have with child care providers.
Sure. Well, a little history on the founding of this organization. My background is all business. I worked as a management consultant for many years and then founded a company that I ran with my husband here in Central Florida for 15 years, and then we sold it in 2017. And at that point, I really wanted to do something to give back to my community, and I've always been passionate about education, so I started doing research into how I could bring my business skills to support the field of education. And the more research I did, the more I understood that the first 5 years are really the most critical time in the development of children's brains. 90% of brain development happens in the first 5 years. So I decided to focus on early childhood education, and at the time, the Early Learning Coalition of Orange County had just launched a program called the Business Institute for Early Learning Entrepreneurs. So I joined the Early Learning Coalition and ran that program for a year. But one of the things that I discovered was that a lot of the child care providers, once they'd been through that program, they understood the need for business administration, just having those skills, but they didn't have the time or the resources to make it happen. So that was when I decided to found our organization, to basically take the business administration off the shoulders of the child care providers and let them focus on their staff and providing high quality early childhood education. So the services that we provide are staff recruiting, enrollment marketing, access to child care management software, and payroll services. And then one of the most important things is business coaching. So we meet with our providers on a regular basis, review their financials, review their operations, talk about their goals, and really coach them to help them get to where they want to be, to improve the stability, the financial stability of their organizations.
You mentioned that your organization provides this support that you found that they had challenges in. How do you alleviate those challenges?
So one of the biggest challenges that our providers face is staff. And there's a huge shortage of staff for early childhood education, primarily for the youngest ages, for infant teachers, toddler teachers. So we've partnered with a recruiting firm, and we have helped them hire, since we're founded in 21, over 200 staff members to support them. So, with the if you don't have teachers, you can't keep your classrooms open. A lot of the times the directors are, when their teachers call in sick or they lose a teacher, they're in the classroom themselves. So it really helps them get back to managing their business as opposed to working in the business and actually, doing the teaching themselves.
What drives you personally to make sure that you can enhance the quality of childcare?
With my business background, I just love doing things that support these child care providers. I've spent a lot of time in their programs with them, and so highly value the work that they do. The business side is easy for me, so I liked, and our staff, we have a staff that provides the services. So just to be able to kind of make their days easier, to do their bookkeeping, share the financials with them so they actually can see how they're doing. We just, they're very grateful for when we are able to hire a new staff person for them. When we can boost their enrollment to help them keep their classrooms full. So it's just a joy to me to provide this group of hardworking, mostly women, And then also, I just love being in the programs and seeing the young children. It's just a delight to see how we're impacting kind of the future of our society by seeing these young children and how they're learning.
Was there a defining moment that led you to this field?
I think really, when I started doing research around the field of education and how to make an impact, I was at the time volunteering and working with an organization called 100 Women Strong, which is a women's giving circle here in Central Florida that's supported by the Central Florida Foundation. And some of the research that they had done, because all of their work supports women and children, and seeing that data around how important the first 5 years are, and what percentage of the children in our community begin kindergarten statistically not ready to learn. That was really a defining moment for me. I just thought I need to do something to help and change this, and help get more children into structured childcare programs that have a curriculum so that they're ready to learn when they get to kindergarten.
Can you share a success story with us?
Sure. One of the first programs that we worked with is a program that's over on Edgewater Drive. When we first started working with this provider, she had just transitioned from a family childcare home into a center. So she'd rented space in a strip mall kind of environment. And we came in and helped her. She had maybe 20 children in her program, and she had a capacity for 72. So we helped her with enrollment marketing. We started keeping her books for her. We did her payroll and started helping her hire staff. And since we started working with her in the beginning of 21, she has grown that program. So she's pretty much at capacity now. So gone from about 25 children that she serves up to over 65 definitely. And lots of interest. The phone is ringing, inquiries are coming in. We built a website for her and did search engine optimization. We're really providing professional business management skills so that she, can do what she does best. But just seeing the growth of that program, and she always raises her hand whenever we've got a new service that we're offering. She's right there, ready to be our guinea pig, test new things. But it's really paid off in terms of, and I'm proud of, the number of people that she's able to serve now. It's a tough community that she serves. The families are really in need. And so I'm just happy that, I know that she provides high quality education, and I'm happy that there are more children in that community are getting access to the service that she provides.
What innovative strategies are you employing to ensure that providers can grow their businesses and focus on quality programming?
Well, one of the newest things that we're doing is we've just, within the last few months, begun a workforce development initiative. So we hired a workforce development manager, and she has started an internship program. And our goal was to have it be a paid internship program. So we're trying to attract more people to the industry, even though the wages in the industry are, they're not what we would like them to be. So we piloted the program over the summer, partnering with City of Orlando and CareerSource, who were terrific partners. They paid the salaries of the interns that we had. But our workforce development manager, she gets them trained, makes sure that they get the initial training that is required by DCF to be credentialed to be working in the classroom with children. But then providing additional mentoring and coaching support to make sure that they're having a good experience, encouraging them to stay in the field. A lot of the people that were in the program over the summer were high school students. And some of them are participating in technical career education at their high schools for early childhood education. So we're going to be following those students and encouraging them to come back and work in the field once they graduate from high school. But we're really taking advantage of every resource that's out there for these interns, not only to have their wages paid through programs while they're in the internship program, but then to get continuing education. So we've just launched a CDA program where the CDA is paid for by the Teach Scholarship Program. But we just provide the technology for them to take the courses online, to make sure that they get their books, to make sure they stay on track, so that they get that credential. And then once they get the credential, then they're eligible for a pay increase. So we're doing everything we can to attract people to the industry and then for them to stay in the industry because they see that there is a career path and that can not only lead to them developing their skills as teachers, but also there's a path to higher pay, to help them, stay in the industry.
How can the community and the viewers get involved in supporting early educators?
There are several ways. I think, one important way is to research your elected officials and see what their positions are on early childhood education. To what extent do they support increasing access for subsidies for families? One of the things that is a struggle, very low income families qualify for subsidies for childcare, but in middle income families kind of, if we could increase the income levels that would qualify for government support for childcare. So looking into the positions of your elected officials and supporting those that are supporting our early childhood education system, that's a big one. If you are in a position of leadership in your company, looking for innovative ways to support your workforce in helping them with pay for early childhood education. It's not uncommon for women who, are doing well in their careers, but when they go then and have their first child and start looking for childcare, they can't find the childcare, or they can't find it in a way that's affordable for them. So helping your staff access child care either through providing, a subsidy or just a network or even an on-site child care program. So those are some ways.
Are there volunteer opportunities?
Really, this internship program, I think, is the biggest volunteer opportunity. It's not really volunteer, but if you know somebody that is interested in the field, have them reach out to us through our website, and we can get them into a paid internship program. We're also partnering with all the schools in the area that have any kind of early childhood education program. So we will help people who are interested in working in the field not only get access to paid internships, but also access to childcare education that we can help get it paid for.
What's the next step for your organization? Are there any future plans?
There are. So we've primarily been working in Central Florida, Orange County. The funding that we have to date comes primarily from the Early Learning Coalition of Orange County, but we are in active conversations to take our services to other parts of the state. We work with some programs in Seminole and Osceola and Brevard County. We're kind of packaging our services so that other counties that are interested can take what we do and offer it in their county with centralized support from us. We really don't want people who want to do this in other parts of the state to have to reinvent the wheel. Mm-hmm. So take what we've done, what we've learned from what we've done, and as much as possible take advantage of the economies of scale that come from our centralized services. So lean on our centralized support to bring these services to other counties and other parts of the state.
What advice would you give someone who's interested in entering the field?
One of the things that we've learned is that because we do a lot of financial analysis, so we have a model that we put every one of our programs into, where we model every classroom, we model the staff, we model all the fixed costs, and a family childcare business can easily make a reasonable profit because all of their home expenses are kind of rolled in, are kind of somewhat covered by having the business run out of their home. It's really quite difficult to make money if you're serving the low-income population and relying on a lot of subsidy families. is quite difficult to make a profit if you're a small childcare provider. So I really would encourage people who are entering the field to either start out as a family childcare home or really, find a way to make your business big quickly. Once you have more than 100 children in your program, then you've got the economies of scale where you can afford to have a floater or a couple of floaters so that you're not so hamstrung when a teacher calls out. And that's something that we can help with. I do recommend, reaching out to us because we can help providers get off the ground quickly and get access to those resources that will help them fund their business, help them find, a good location, really provide that business coaching so that they get a good running start to form a business that is financially secure.
And how can people learn more about your organization and how to stay in touch?
They can go to our website, earlylearningservices.org. We are a nonprofit organization. So, always interested in people that, are interested in supporting us financially, but also just getting involved and helping us connect with community partners. We're really very interested in forming those connections that can help us, bring those resources to a broad audience.
We're going to have an activity here that will give the viewers an opportunity to learn more about your organization.
So the first question is, how does centralized back office support contribute to cost savings? A, it increases overhead costs. B, it reduces duplication of tasks and resources.
Okay, I'll go with the second one. Can you explain a little bit more about how you do that?
Yeah, so, if you think about it, what we do is by providing centralized back office support, each of the programs doesn't have to pay somebody full time to either do their enrollment marketing or do their bookkeeping. It only takes a fraction of our centralized resource to do the books for one of these programs. We get some economies of scale by having some expertise in some of these fields. So it really, instead of having 20 different programs, have a staff person that's doing the same tasks across multiple programs, we just bring it in-house to our organization so that we can do it for multiple programs and save on those resources. What role does technology play in centralized back office support? A, it is unnecessary in this context. B, it helps in creating more paperwork. Or C, it enables automation and better data management.
C, better automation and data management.
That's correct. Yes. So one of the things that we do is we bring childcare management software to each of our programs so that we automate child check-in and check-out, staff check-in and check-out, automate the billing and collection of payment. So a lot of things that were done by paper and pencil by these programs, when we bring in the childcare management software, it really streamlines things, makes reporting much easier, makes it easier for the parents to pay, know how much they owe, because the parents can just then pay, on a weekly basis from an app on their phone. So really trying to use 21st century technology to help both not only the centers but the families. What is a potential challenge of implementing centralized back office support? A, improved communication between departments. B, enhanced decision-making process. C, resistance to change from employees.
Are you looking for the challenges?
Yes.
That would be C.
Right. So C is resistance to change from employees. So as you can imagine, having an outside organization come in and start making suggestions about how you should do things differently in your business is challenging. These are privately owned businesses. People take a lot of pride in what they've built. So, one of the things that we look for in our business coaches are people who are very empathetic, people who have some experience in the childcare industry so that they know exactly what it's like to run a business, and people who have just a very sensitive way of communicating and, provide encouragement and reinforcement of, all the good things that are going on in the centers and really just focus on the business aspect of things. But we recognize that change is difficult. Try to provide as much coaching and support and positive reinforcement as we can as we work with the providers. So the last question is, how can centralized back office support contribute to better decision making? A, by reducing data accuracy. B, by providing timely and accurate data from various departments. And C, by making decisions on behalf of management.
Well, C would sound great. I think it's B.
So it's B, by providing timely and accurate data from various departments. And the reason it's not C, by making decisions on behalf of management. So as ELSSA, we do not make decisions, for management. We provide them with the data to help them make decisions. And there's a few ways in which we do this. Certainly by having the childcare management software. At any time, the providers can see on their dashboard what their receivables are outstanding, so they know and they can see who owes them what money. So they can, even just send a message through the system. By the way, you still have a balance outstanding. Please make sure to pay this by the end of the week. Just gentle encouragement as opposed to having to go through a bunch of paper to kind of try to figure that out. So it's right there front and center so they know and can manage, their outstanding receivables and make sure that their parents are paying them on time. But another big one is by doing the bookkeeping and providing timely reports. So we provide monthly financial statements so that they can see exactly what their profit and loss statement looks like. And through the coaching that we provide, we can talk to them about and model, well, if we're able to open another classroom, here's how much money it would drop to your bottom line. A lot of the things that we're doing are trying to help them see how they could find ways to pay their staff better. So it's really, providing them access to that information that helps them make the decisions to run their business in a way that is more financially secure.
And you mentioned software. Is the software proprietary that you created, or is it something that a third party out there created?
They're third-party software. So we actually support multiple different software. ProCare is the big one that we support. There's another one called Brightwheel, and there's one called SmartCare.
If you're enjoying this show, please subscribe to our channel and follow our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter accounts.